Good afternoon, I'm Jane Jones and I look after enrolments at St Philip's Christian College, Gosford. Welcome to our Year 7 2021 information session. We have a number of middle school leaders here joining us today who'll be speaking, and then we'll have a Q&A session. So if you can please hold off on your questions and then wait until everybody's spoken, then we can open up the Q&A session. And you can actually use the chat facility at the bottom of the screen, and our host is going to explain a little bit more about that. I'm actually going to introduce you to our host. So we've got Mrs. Maggie Healy here. She is the Assistant Head of Middle School. Hi, Maggie.
Thanks, Jane. Okay, so if you do have any questions at any point, there is a chat function down the bottom. You can either direct your questions directly to me. So if you click there's a little blue drop-down box that says everyone. You can either have them so that everyone can see them, or you can just direct it straight to me. Okay, just before we start though, I am just going to open in prayer. All right. Lord God, thank you so much that we can still, through the wonders of technology, still have meetings like this. I just pray that this session, that you'll just help it to be clear, and it can be a real accurate representation of what our college is really like. Amen. Okay, so during this time, you are going to hear from a range of people. So you'll hear from our head of middle school, Mrs. Bronwyn-Fay. You'll hear from our head of inclusive education team, our gifted education teacher, our heads of Kappa, Tazz and sport. As I said before, if you do have any questions, you can start putting them through. I'll just collate them, and at the very end, we'll answer all the questions together. Okay, so I am going to pass now to our head of middle school, Mrs. Bronwyn-Fay.
Hello. So, I'm on mute. Sorry, I'm on mute. Sorry, Maggie and I are in the same room, sorry. So for those who haven't met me, I am Bronwyn-Fay. I'm the head of middle school here. I've been working in the middle school here for the past 9 years. I am very passionate about what it is that we do here. Entering Year 7 can be a pretty daunting experience for our young students. They are only 11 or 12 when they come into Year 7, and in a typical high school you would throw them straight into a high school where they're competing with 17, 18-year-olds in the playground. In our middle school here we have a structure of Years 5 to 8, so our students coming into Year 7, they're coming in the middle of that space where they're not the youngest but they're also not the oldest, and they've got a very smooth and gradual transition into their secondary schooling education, surrounded by a very supportive pastoral care network of teachers, but they still get all the benefits of a high school environment, which you'll hear a little bit about from our instructional leaders today. I am a parent here as well. My own children go to this school, and I am very supportive, and I'm very thankful as well for the authentic Christian education that my children get at this school. I've got one child in middle school myself, and I really enjoy it as a parent and also as a staff member here. So I'm actually going to pass it back to Maggie, who's going to speak a little bit. She's one of our Year 7 teachers. She's going to speak a little bit more about our pastoral care program that we run in middle school. So Maggie.
Okay, so one of the really big differences that I've found since working here is that we do have what's called like a pastoral care or a core teacher, which really helps that gradual transition from junior school and from Years 5 and 6 towards our senior school. It just means that instead of having a new teacher for every single subject, a new classroom for every single subject, you've got that one teacher who you see a fair bit. You either have them for their specialty subject. So for example, I'm PDHPE trained, so I've got my class for PDHPE, and then I've also got Year 7 classes for maths. I've got them for Christian studies, and I see them every day in pastoral care. So it just means they have that one face that they get to see every day. It's their point of contact for parents if you need to contact anybody, and it just really helps that transition so that you're not getting lost in the big world of high school. So that's just how we do things in Year 7 and 8. All right, so I'm now going to pass to Nathan Hind. He is our gifted education teacher.
Thanks, Maggie. It is really good to be here this afternoon.
I can't hear you.
Oh, sorry, let me unmute myself. I can. Oh, I'm still good.
Oh, yeah, okay, good.
How are we going? All good? Thanks, Maggie. Yeah, sorry about that. It is really good to be here. As Maggie mentioned, my name is Nathan Hind. I'm the gifted specialist who works with our Project Hawk, which is our specialist selective gifted class in Year 7 and 8. We currently have 24 students in our Project Hawk class, and we cater to a wide range of gifted students within our college. For a number of years now, we've been working with gifted students within clusters within our school, and we've been developing this model for quite a while now that really suits, like Maggie said, this pastoral care idea that we have in Year 7 and 8, where we can support students and mentor them really, really well, as well as develop the academic needs of the students. So we've been working quite closely with these students, since the start of this year, since its inception. And our Hawk students are just amazing. They pick problems apart. They really challenge every aspect of the curriculum. They're pulling apart historical inaccuracies in sources at the moment. They're making our HSC English teacher blush in terms of the things that they're having a look at and trying to pull apart. It's been really great just kind of working with them and mentoring them as they're kind of working through the curriculum. One of the reasons we're kind of chatting with you this afternoon is that, the entry into Year 7 is a great point for them to jump into this program. It's a little hard to kind of transfer in later after sort of the entry point to Year 7, because they follow just a different path through the curriculum than some of the others sort of Year 7 and 8 programs do. So we pick a different path, we compact the curriculum together, and it just provides us more opportunities to find richer learning experiences and to find additional time to do more passion projects, and really just connect really closely with who the students are and what their giftings are. We're really blessed with an amazing community that we have here at the college. And we're really lucky that the parents that are really invested in the class have a really good idea how gifted students really learn, and their children just really think differently about how the world works. And so we've got a really great support network within our parent body who are able to support each other and connect together and really support how gifted students just think differently about the world. So it's just a really great program in how we are able to balance the academic needs as well as the effective needs of the student as well. We do have provisional testing dates that are set out for the end of June, depending on what our current health advice is at the moment. We still have our applications that are open till the 12th of June. Jane in the office, who's hosting today, will be able to give you some more information if you want to connect with her. But again, it's just lovely to chat with you this afternoon about what Hawk is doing. I'm going to hand over to Mrs. Claire Gray, who is our Head of Inclusive Ed. Thanks, Claire.
Hi, welcome everybody. I'm here to talk about inclusive education, which is our support side of the program for children throughout the school. I'm the Head of Inclusive Education, and we coordinate services to the children where we can. So for 5 and 6 and 7 and 8, we currently run some literacy intervention groups. So that's with our Macquarie University based courses. They're evidence-based courses that help children that are low progress readers and spellers have a boost in the foundational skills for literacy intervention or for literacy, so that they can then connect in well and with greater, I guess, ability to their core subjects, to their English particularly, but all core subjects. So it's really good to have that opportunity to continue this through stage 4, which is Year 7 and 8, and not finish just at Year 6, so that those children that are needing that boost have that opportunity to just continue to really roll out those foundational skills, particularly if they've only come to us in 5 and 6 and 7 and 8, and they haven't had that opportunity during junior school to develop some of those skills. The other things we do, we actually support teachers and children across in a variety of ways across the school. So we run supported play during lunchtime. It's called Game On, and it can be based in the hall with table tennis or indoor soccer, and it can also be based in the classrooms with actually coaching children in games and social skills and things like that. So it can be an opportunity to just get out of the hustle and bustle, an opportunity to stay warm, or an opportunity to develop, get their energy out in a different way. And so children use that for a variety of reasons, and it's actually children opt in, and it's just open to everybody in middle school. Another thing we do is we offer in-class support with teachers. We often come alongside and team teach with teachers, or we will take a small group of children and actually focus on skills-based, something that's being taught, and use that opportunity in a small group way. So something like a book study, or pulling out a small group and working through maths at maybe just a slower pace. It's exactly the same curriculum, but we might be working at a slower pace with a small group of children. It's two more things that we do. One is assessment support, and that's actually often based in small groups or individually. By the time we get to 7 and 8, it's often with individual children that where we'll meet for a period of time and run through what it is they're really struggling with, how to organise an assessment task that's coming up, an essay, or catch up on some work that they're not managing because they haven't been able to organise themselves well. So we offer that service, and we have a variety of people that sort of tap in and tap out around that. We can offer some in-class support around skills-based, so if someone needs actual extra help in science or extra help in hospitality, we'll be there. And lastly, but not least, is we offer exam support. So when children have NAPLAN or exams at the end of the year, they have an opportunity for adjustments and for either extra time or a small group supervision or some readers, and we make that happen for them, and we prepare rooms and have opportunities for that to happen. So yeah, that's us in a nutshell, and I'm going to pass over now to Kurt Mayer, who's the instructional leader of PDHPE. Thank you.
Thank you, Claire. So I'll be talking to you about sport today, my role as head of sport from K to 12. So just a bit of a look at what our school does. So we're one of the currently 17 schools in Hunter Region Independent School Sport. Next year we're having our 18th school join, a very, very strong association. So when students join our college, they obviously are getting a wide range of opportunities, sporting opportunities, a big number of different sports to choose from that they can either compete at a Gala Day level or a representative HRIS level. For instance, I'm the coordinator and manager of HRIS sport for primary 15 years and also opens. So we often get a lot of students turning up and trying out for that team. And then we see our usual pathways either through what's called ACES or straight to CIS as well. Okay, so a lot of opportunities for the students to participate. And we also participate a lot in sports outside of our direct association. So competing against both independent schools, but also government schools. So at the, last year we won the Northern New South Wales futsal tournament. And because that's been cancelled this year, I'm going to say we're the 2 times running futsal champions of Northern New South Wales. So students that have an interest in sport definitely have a variety of opportunities. Also on campus, moving into year 7, we open up our school gym for them to teach them some of the techniques of not serious weight training, but more body weight training, but also leading into weight training, how to do it safely, but also injury prevention, so that when they do turn up to their weekend sports, they know how to compete correctly and not injure themselves. So yeah, they're never short of opportunities of sport within the school, which we're very proud about, being a smaller school, to be able to offer all of these different opportunities. But yeah, if you have any more specific questions, please feel free to send me a chat at the end, and I'm more than happy to talk to you about what pathway might suit, what interests you have. But I will hand it over to Mr. Ryan, our head of Kappa. Yeah.
Hello. Well, I'll apologise straight up if you hear kids screaming in the background. My 2 girls are not doing as they're told, and I cannot leave the camera to discipline them, so they're having a ball. But let's talk about creative arts. So when you come into year 7, you'll see a specialised music and visual arts teacher. Then you'll see them for a semester each, learning growing upon all your fundamental skills. So in music, you'll continue and choose an instrument that you want to get a little bit better at. In visual arts, you'll do awesome projects like clay making and stuff like that. And as far as extracurricular things go, we run a middle to senior school production every 2 years. that every student can audition for and be part of, whether that's a lead role or just a group ensemble part. As far as extracurricular music tuition and art tuition and things like that go, Mr. Halls or Ms. Brudel is always available in the art room at lunchtime, as I am in the music room. But then if you want to take it further, we do have tutors that come in to the school offering single tutor lessons, group lessons, and then we have contemporary band as well. So that is all your contemporary instruments from keyboard, guitar, bass, and all of those things. But any further information, email me or the front office. They have all the details in our extracurricular thing. I will pass it on to the amazing Mr. Ashby.
Thank you very much, Michael Ryan, head of Kappa. I get to look after Tazz in the school. Maybe I'm biased, but Tazz is maybe one of the best parts of high school. I quite enjoyed it when I went through. But very similar to the Kappa, we have a great opportunity to rotate through each term and allow students just to have a bit of a different play and a whole range of different activities. Our real aim as a school is for students to find their life of passion and purpose. You've maybe heard that line said before, but we really find that students can find this heavily in a Tazz environment. Part of the rotations that the students will work through is sort of working in our industrial hospitality kitchen. They'll learn how to make some delicious meals, how to follow a recipe, just really use and be involved in a space that is very professional, very accurate to a real world environment, and allow them to just expand some skills that maybe they didn't know they had an interest in. And really try to find their giftings. They're going to learn how to use computers in a really advanced way. They're going to learn how to do some really fancy coding under sort of Mr. Nathan Hind. They're going to learn how to build some websites, code video games. But again, there's so much opportunity for students to take things beyond the classroom. It's really inspiring when students learn some of the basics, and as a teacher, you can push them to show them where some really good tutorials are, and they come back showing you amazing work. It's really encouraging. Students are also going to learn how to use a whole range of hand tools and power tools, and how to really do some practical work. It's going to really build their confidence in using a hammer. You hit your thumb a few times, but you learn how not to after a couple of sore thumbs. But yeah, our real aim over the sort of stage 4, the year 7, year 8, is to really inspire the students, to really try to help them to find what they're passionate about. Some students are going to get through year 7 and 8 and choose never to do Tazz again, and that's fine, and they're going to follow their dreams of English, of maths, of other things, but our real aim is to try to plant a seed that students are really going to find what they're passionate about. It's so exciting to sort of just show some students some skills, some tricks, some things that they've just never sort of done before, and to really sort of inspire that lifelong journey of passion and purpose. The last thing I'll say is that on our math books that we use, there's really advanced software. There's amazing skills that can be learned, and we have these great resources and tools, and it's within Tazz that we really try to push them a bit further and unlock some of the potential in them. One of my favourite stories is parents, students coming back after years, or maybe even not from our school, but just talk very fondly of that pencil box they made in year 7 woodwork, or they just reminisce on their time in Tazz. That we really enjoy it, and I hope your students will as well. From here, I will say if you have any questions, please ask at the end, and I'll pass back over to Maggie to answer some questions.
Great, thank you, Tim. So now is the time where you can ask your questions. If you have any questions you want to ask, just put them in the chat function. I'd also give a chance for if anyone has forgotten anything, they can throw in some extra stuff if there's no questions. But yeah, if you have any questions, please either send them to myself or you can send them so that everyone can see. Just seeing right now. Currently, there aren't any questions there. So if you want to have a bit of a time to think about that, that's fine. You can put them up. While you're having a think, I might pass it back to Jane if you'd like to discuss a few things, and then if anything does pop up, feel free to put them in there and we can come back to the questions at the end. Thanks.
Oh, there we go, sorry. Thanks, Maggie. So I'll just let you know how to enrol. We do our enrolment applications online. So you just need to go to our website, and there is a spot there that you can read all about it and log in your application. We do require you to upload some documents, which it will explain once you get in there. And there is a $50 application fee per child as well. And then once that's been submitted, I will receive that and I will give you a call to organise an enrolment interview, of which that is happening right now for Year 7 for next year and for middle school enrolments as well. So we would encourage you to put your applications in as quickly as possible so that there are places available, but they will go quickly. So if you have any questions regarding how to apply or any enrolment questions, you can certainly send me an email, or I'm here Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays in the office. Give the office a call and I can certainly go through any questions that you might have. We do have some questions there, Maggie. Did something come through?
Yeah, would you like me to take it?
Go for it, Michael.
Yep.
Thank you.
So Sharon, it's the ever-loving battle. So every year we put out the expression of interest and have the conservatorium come and do displays of the instruments and stuff like that. And we actually haven't had enough student numbers to run a conservatory concert band as such. So the trombone is more than welcome at the college. I can't say for certain whether we'll be able to run tuition lessons there yet. But if you do contact the Conservatorium of Music, they will be able to accommodate your tutorial needs, and I'll be able to accommodate your students' playing needs. I can transpose things, and we've got a saxophonist that joins the chapel band and things like that, which is evidently probably a point I forgot to mention was chapel band is a big thing of our school. We perform every fortnight a middle school band and also a senior school band at 2 different chapels. So yeah, lots of opportunities to perform. But unfortunately at this point, I couldn't say that I could offer trombone lessons within the college, but it's something that we're always trying to do to push that part and get a concert band happening. So I hope that answers your question.
I think that's all in terms of the questions. So I might just, Jane, is there anything else we need to discuss before we finish up with the meeting? Oh, there's another one, hang on. One has just popped through. So this question is saying, what is the process for students currently enrolled in Year 6? Do they need to notify us that they're staying on for Year 7 or need to re-enroll?
No. So the answer to that is no. If you're currently in Year 6, your enrolment continues on into Year 7. You don't need to let us know if you're happy to continue on into Year 7. So that's not a problem at all. So you can just leave everything as it is. So that's fine.
And I can speak to that as well. That we do an orientation day in term 4 in the first few weeks. The hope is that we can still do that, and that will be a day when we push Year 8, who are the top of our middle school years, up into the senior school for the day, and they transition into senior school, and then we bring Year 4 up into their new sub-school, and all of the year groups will shuffle up a year group. So Year 6 will get to spend the day with Year 7. They will get to spend the day with the Year 7 core or the current Year 7 core teachers, and the pastoral care teachers of Year 7 will get a chance to work with them through the day with some team building activities. All of the new students who are coming to join us for 2021 will also come on that day. It's a good chance for them to build some networks with friends, get a chance to get familiar with the new classrooms and with their new teachers, and they can ask any questions they may have in terms of what they need for the following year. The advantage for the current Year 6 students who are already enrolled is there are no changes with regards to uniform. The only changes are really just around some specific subject equipment that they might need. So for Tim in Tazz, they might need certain books, and same for music, they might need certain equipment and things like that. For hospitality, the aprons and things like that. So we will update all the families on that orientation day, but that will be just really around networking with both teachers and with other students as well.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. I think that's all our questions for the day. So I might just throw it back to Jane to finish up.
Thanks, Maggie. I did fail to mention that you can do a tour here now. We do that obviously all with social distancing rules in place. But if you do want to have a look or have a look at the college, do a tour around the college, I can certainly organise that for you and do that with you. So that, once again, book in, just give us a call and I can organise that. That's done on Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays during school time. And as we're probably going back to school fairly well next week onwards, you will get to see all the students in the classroom. So it's well worth coming and having a look. So thank you very much for joining us. I appreciate your time. And yeah, hopefully we will see you all next year for Year 7 2021. Thanks again. Bye.